Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to study internal and external communication. Now first we need to understand what is effective communication. Because in business effective communication is very necessary. So communication is the transferring of a message from the sender to the receiver who understands the message. The message is the information or instruction being passed by the sender to the receiver. So what is very important that the message is supposed to be understood. And later on we are going to look into there are different barriers coming in. Now what could be the barriers or hurdles when the communication going to take place. Then there is internal communication. Internal communication happens within the organization, within the business, not outside. For example, internal stakeholders, for owners, workers, managers, they are the one when they communicate with each other from different departments or within the department. Finance could speak to the HR could speak to the marketing and so on. Here are some examples of common message communicated within businesses. Internal communication, the way in which each message is given are also shown. Please do not smoke in this area. Notice on the table how many hours did you work last week. There will be a fire drill at 11 today. Again, on notice the cutting machine has broken down. Can you send the engineer as soon as possible? Sales last week reached a record level. Keep this door locked at all times. You have been sick because of frequent absence from work. Sick means fire. Because in earlier chapter we studied that there are two ways the employee could leave. Either he could be dismissed because of his own fault, or due to recession. For example, what happening COVID or Corona, that business are suffering from losses, so we call it redundancy. Shoplifting is on the increase in our store. Shoplifting means a theft, that somebody pick anything without paying. So this is what we call shoplifting. This meeting gives all employees a chance to suggest idea on how the problem can be reduced, because it is actually communication who makes the business successful. So this is very important that the business, that communication is supposed to take place properly, or the key word that is effective. Now, what is external communication is between the organization and other organization or individual. So from business to other business, or from business to other external stakeholder. For example, government, especially the customer, suppliers, or any other stakeholder that is not part of the organization is going to be external communication. These are some of the examples. Order for goods from suppliers, sending information to customers about prices and delivery times, advertising goods or services, asking customers to pay bills on time. So these are some of the examples that we could cover in. One type of communication is not more important than another. It is very true. It is just as important for a business to have good external communication as good internal communication. And this is very true that business supposed to be good in both, as the key features of both types are the same. The method of communication which can be used are also similar. Through the growth of social networking has transformed how business can communicate with the outside world. If we do look into our lives, we all are communicating either through the cell phone, through the WhatsApp, Facebook, social media. You know, this is what happened right from the beginning till the end. The end till we go to the bed. Even in the bed, this is what we communicate. You know, so communication is more important than ever in our not only in our business life but also in our personal life as well. Now, why external communication has to work well? External communication is very important to the image and efficiency of a business. if a firm communicates ineffectively with suppliers, it may be sent the wrong material and it is true that it's not according to the customer specification, then the customer will be unsatisfied and he won't return back. So that is going to be harmful for the business. Here are some more examples of external communication. You can imagine how serious it would be if a communication was not effective in all these cases. A finance manager writes a letter to the tax officer asking how much tax must be paid this year. A sales manager records a customer order taken over the internet for 330 items to be delivered by next Wednesday. A business must contact thousands of customers who have bought a product which turns out to be dangerous. An email is sent to all customers who bought the product to ask them to return the item for a refund. Just like we had a very good case earlier when Note 7 battery got exploded. So definitely Samsung had to, you know, communicate to the customers that if they have it, they can return. And Note 5 was given instead of Note 7. But it happened that there are so many factory fault that business they have to communicate to the customer, and that particular badge, could be identified at a particular time of sales. So that, but sometimes since the volume of the customer is so high, what happen is that it is next to impossible to contact all the customers. So instead, company contact to the customers are told to contact, or they can return the product since they pay a good price for the product. So definitely they are concerned about it, and they do come back and exchange the faulty product with the good one. Now, the process of effective communication, there's supposed to be four features of effective communication. When we have two-way communication or one-way communication, we are going to look into, and what is the difference between that. A transmitter or sender of the message, that's supposed to be the first feature. This is the person who wishes to pass on the information to others. This person has to choose the next two features carefully in order to make sure that the communication occurs effectively. A medium of communication or method for sending the message, for example, a letter or notice board. A receiver of the information, the person to whom the message should be sent. Feedback, where the receiver confirms that the message has been received and respond to it. This ensures that the information has been correctly received by the right person and, if necessary, acted upon. Now, when we speak in terms of one-way communication, so feedback is not important. What are the one-way communication? When the notice is given, a message on the notice board, or there is some information just passed on that tomorrow will be holiday and all. Letter sent by, or it could be a text message where you are not supposed to reply, where it is also mentioned, please don't reply. It's an automatic generated message, so where that is called the one way. Where senders is send the message. What is the medium of communication? It could be a cell phone, or it could be a computer through which email sent. A receiver who receive, in case of school students are the receiver, in case of bank customers are the one. So this is how things go accordingly. Where feedback, when the receiver confirms that the message has been received, we do often in the class and even online that at the end of the lecture we ask you, okay, do you have any problem? And especially during the class, we if we deliver any particular concept, at the end of the concept, I do ask in my class, okay, do you understand? If you don't understand, you could ask. So if you ask and if you say yes or no, so this is what we call feedback. And according to your response, we go accordingly. So here is the example of the two-way communication, where sender message through a medium of communication, and it's like, okay, yeah, I receive it, okay, or done, So formally, especially in the business, it is preferable that you do respond it, okay, when you receive a query and all, acknowledge, noted. This is what we do it in our daily business life or official life. Now, one-way and two-way communication. Let's go deep or let's explain it further. One-way communication involves a message which does not call for a require a response. One-way communication occurs when the receiver of a message has no chance to reply or respond to the message. An example would be an instruction to take these goods to the customer. One-way communication does not allow the receiver to contribute to communication or to provide any feedback. On the other hand, if you are going to look into two-way communication when there is a reply or response from the receiver, just like we discussed earlier. So this could be just a simple confirmation of receipt of the message. For other examples could be DHL or FedEx. When you receive it, so you do sign it, yes, I receive it. So again, this is two-way communication. Now, what are the advantages of two-way communication? It should become absolutely clear to the sender whether or not the person receiving the message has understood it and acted upon it. If they have not, then perhaps the message needs to be sent again or made clear. Okay. Second, both people are now involved in the communication process. The receivers feel more a part of this process. He or she can make a real contribution to the topic being discussed or communicated. This may help to motivate the receiver. Okay. So definitely advantages there that now just like in our example, whenever you say yes, so now I can move to the next concept or next thing that you already understood it. Okay. Both people are now involved in the communication process, so means students are the part of the class that we keep asking, and you are connected actually. So it's very important, and especially in practical life. So when we involve the workers, so they feel they are really motivated. This is what we studied earlier as well. This is what we call democratic leadership, because in autocratic leadership it is one-way communication, and in the democratic leadership it is a two-way communication. Okay, now there could be different communication methods. If we do look into, information can be sent or transmitted in a number of different ways. These are called the communication media. Verbal methods of communication involve the sender of the message speaking to the receiver. Most of the time we do communicate verbally, isn't it? Whether it's in our daily life or it's in our say school life, or we go to the say when we are going to work in. So this is what happening in that we do often communicate verbally. The other way around is called written method of communication, include letter, notices, posters, but increasingly inform the use of IT. So this I would say that now it's equal that we text in, we use social media. So equally, we are too much into it, because it used to be writing letters or sending emails and all, but it's more than that through the use of social media and WhatsApp. So it's we could use it both. We could record the message on the WhatsApp, or we just write a brief message and all. So this is how we do communicate and so on. Visual methods of communication includes methods such as diagrams, charts, and videos. So in our example, what is the visual method of communication? The screen that you are looking into, that with the help of my presentation. So that makes it much easier. Instead that I make the screen blank, or you just don't look at the video, you just open the audio. So definitely with the help of both video and audio, it make it more clear. So this what that actually with the chart, with the presentations, with the graphs and all. And what are the visual methods of communication in the class? Either there are two ways. Either I just deliver the lecture, I just keep talking, or I use the whiteboard. So when I write on the whiteboard, so it is much understandable, isn't it? Choosing the appropriate communication method, this is very, very important, right? So there are several factors that the sender of the message should consider before choosing the most appropriate method to use to communicate with the receiver. Speed. Speed, is it important that the receiver gets the information really quickly? For example, a manager from a foreign division of a company must be told about a cancelled meeting before he catches his flight. So speed really counts on. If this is one of the reason that FedEx, DHL, they use the express delivery, because time is crucial. Time is money. You know, that's one of the reason. For example, if I send a letter, it may take a day or two. If I just go make a call, so that is going to be more quick, right? Cost, is it important to keep costs down, or it is more important to communicate effectively regardless of cost? For example, customer need to be informed of a seriously safety problem with the product. So then you don't look at the cost, you look at the speed, you look at, you want to make sure that even it going to cost you, you have to call each and every single customer, just like I gave you example about Note 7 by Samsung, or it could be there are so many cars they had a brake problem or they had other major problems, so they recall. Is a technical term we usually recalls the product. So they recall and they remove the defects or they do the replacement. So the factory faults they do come in, and this is a common practice. But what is most important, that you have to own that. You have to own, okay, there is a problem and we are going to fix it. Okay, so that can regain or it build up the customer relationship for the long term. Message details, how detail is the message? If it contains technical plans, figures and illustration, then clearly written and other visual forms of communication are likely to be essential. Leadership style, in the leadership style, just like I told you, there are three kind we studied, that is autocratic, democratic and laissez-faire. So in autocratic is just one way communication, and one way is, this is not the question that which is more important, whether it is important where, in which situation are we communicating. For example, when it is company policies, company rules and regulation, then one way communication, you are not supposed to get a feedback and all. If smoking is prohibited, it is prohibited. You cannot smoke, you cannot you are not supposed to act against it. Okay, same is the case, you have to follow all SOPs. In COVID-19, if it is you have to wear a mask, you have to use the sanitizer, so you have to, there is no compromise. It's supposed to be autocratic, but most of the time we use the democratic or laissez-faire, where we use two-way communication, because in the so that we can communicate freely and all. Because what is really important. Listen carefully. What is really important? Even in our profession, knowledge, I would say, comes later. Communication comes first. What is the use if I have all the knowledge but I won't be able to communicate? So this is very important, that I should know that how to deliver my knowledge and bring it to you. For example, if I have three students, one is in MBA, other one is in say O levels, and the third one is in the say, primary, okay, primary school. So all three, I'm going to communicate differently. The one who is in MBA is, I'm going to use a slight technical language. Okay, level would be higher as compared to the one when I'm going to speak to the O level, and especially with the primary, I want to make sure I'm going to bring down my frequency, my level to that child, so that he or she could be able to understand. So whether it's your personal life, whether it's your business life, especially, that communication is very, very crucial. The receiver, who is or are the target receiver, if just one person has to be communicated with and they work in the next office, then one-to-one conversation is likely to be used. However, this would be inappropriate if hundreds of workers need to receive a message.
सर मेरी मैसेज की लास्ट थर्ड
So this is very important that you do look into it, that receiver, who is your target receiver? If it's just one person, so then the mode would be different, right? If it's there would be more than one person, then there would be a conference. It could be a meeting, it could be a conference call, it could be just like we are using Zoom and other software. So that could be the one of the ones. So I would say this pandemic or this corona time, it opens doors for communication. So and we are more communicative than ever, and whoever is not communicative, so definitely that person is going to lose out, because distance, how distance can be bridged up. Distance can only be bridged up with effective communication. If you are not very communicative, so then you cannot bridge, because if I am in class, I can somehow manage it. But it's really important that you're supposed to have good communication skill if you really want to deliver. And that could be with the help of, just like I told you, presentation way and all. So it could be laptop, it could be cell phone, it could be tablets and all. So, or it could be multimedia presentation. So both audio and video, that's one of the reason we use it to make it more effective. Importance of written record, legal contracts, or receipt of a new order from customers. So written record are very important, and they proof as they serve as a proof, whether it's a partnership contract or it's a workers contract. And sometimes employee or employer have to take legal actions. So at that point of time, these written records are really serves as a evidence, very important evidence. And there are so many lawsuits, they decide just on the basis of these written records. And it is really advisable. Even our Islam teaches us that we supposed to everything in writing. Even two brothers, they are having something formal, so it's supposed to be in written. So it is very advisable, when you go to my students, when you go to the practical lives, that since being human, we have a tendency of forgetting things, and nowadays we are too busy and so many things. So it is advisable that have everything supposed to be in black and white, that is in written form. Importance of feedback. If it is essential that the sender receives feedback perhaps very quickly, then the direct verbal method of communication might be most appropriate. For example, has the customer just leaving the shop, wait for those goods yet? So, or importance of feedback, if I could give you example, any product, whether it's a Nestle in the water, or it's a Pepsi bottle, or it could be any cookies, or any product. You are going to say, okay, Rapta or feedback, we really value your feedback. And even sometimes when we used to go to the dine-in and all, so whenever we end up the meal, so employee of Pizza Hut or of Kulachi or any particular dine-in, they come and they do ask the feedback, how's the food? And sometimes, and they have the tab as well, so they ask you, would you mind you go to the bank? I mean, even at the bank, at the everywhere, so that they can, if the customer is satisfied, it's okay. But if it's not so, there is only one way they could improve it, by asking the feedback. Otherwise, how would I know that what am I doing it wrong, unless until the customer is going to tell me, say. Same is the case in the class. Unless until you are not going to give us feedback that whether you understood or not. Look, we cannot come into your mind. हम आपके दिमाग में तो नहीं जा सकते ना. So this is why we always keep asking you, do you get it? Do you get it? So this one of the reasons, very important to give a fair opinion and all, so that we can go ahead. Now, verbal communication methods, verbal or written communication methods include one-to-one talks, meetings between sender and receiver, telephone conversation, video conferencing, like used to be Skype, now Zoom, very active, right? Meetings and team briefings, WhatsApp, and even we have Messenger, social medias and all, that we do communicate on the Messenger especially. Advantages of verbal communication: information can be given out quickly. If you really want to make it quick, so that could be one of the example. There is opportunity for immediate feedback and two-way communication. Since you are just on the call, the other person is really active and all, could reply immediately, whether the other person could understand or not. For example, right now I'm delivering a lecture. So you could interrupt and say, sir, I don't understand this. Could you explain it? You just raise your hand here, and then or private chat, you say, okay, sir, can you explain it again? And also, I could repeat that thing. There is an opportunity for immediate and two-way communication. The message is often reinforced by seeing the speaker. The body language is very important. So this is one of the reasons that we do recommend that open your video and also that you can look, I mean, both of us can look at each other, because body language, eye contact, it's very important to understand it. Facial expression, hand expression, to make it more emphasis, this is one of the reason that we do have the body language. Okay, there are so many people, good speaker, when they communicate, they to make it more effective, they use their hands oftenly. Just like there are advantages, there are disadvantages as well. For example, in a big meeting, there is no way of telling whether everybody is listening or has understood the message. So if it is a big meeting, if it is a big class, and this is one of the advantages and Gregory, that it's a small number of students, so there are more chances of communicate. So try to take advantage of this. It can take longer to use verbal methods when feedback occurs than to use a written form of communication. That sometimes it do take longer. When an accurate and permanent record of the message is needed, such as the warning to a worker, a verbal method is inappropriate because you need evidence. Okay, yeah, I gave warning. Because even if you fire any employee or dismiss any employee, and he or she will, what if go to the labor court and sue you? So that labor court may ask you, do you have any written evidence that you gave any warnings? Because technically speaking, you cannot fire anybody like that. You have to give two uh, warnings in writing, and third, then you can fire. So if you don't give, or you fail to give any evidence, so that lawsuit may go against you, and you have to pay extra damages to the employee. But if you show to the court that yes, that you have given these warning letters, and you remind the worker, okay, please, you need to get a training, or you need to make sure that you are habitual absent or something like that, that you better correct yourself, but you did not. So this is one of the reasons that we have to fire you after two warnings. Written communication, including those based on IT, business letters, memos. Now, what are the memos? So if one say, for example, St. Gregory, they are having two branches. If they communicate from one branch to another, so this is a memo. But if they are going to communicate to the, say, parents or the, say, students, so there's going to be a letter. So memos are typically written message used only internally. Only internally. Many business use computers send these through the internal email system where thousands of employees, for example, banks, they have thousands of employees with different hundreds of the branches. So they on every daily basis, uh, there are so many branches are closed due to pandemic. So this could be done with the memo, or there are SOP supposed to be followed. So that again could be done by the memo. So memorandum, one of the example of the memorandum to sales manager from distribution manager. Again, this is internal communication, right? Delivery of damaged goods. The problem of damaged goods reaching a new town branch has been solved. It was discovered that the boxes were being loaded to the truck without any rope attaching them. So I met with the loading supervisor to tell him that this must not happen again. So this is one of the example. Hundreds of the other examples could come in. So many, that all sorted out, because very first thing when you go to the office and you sit on your table, so what you do, you open your PC and you look at the screen. If there is any memo coming in, this is how you start your day. And just like we have a very good example of our software system, ILM. So this is one of the example of memos. Definitely, Beacon House student, they don't have access. Same as the city school don't have access. And trust me, this is one of the most advanced and most, say, student-friendly software I've ever seen, because I'm a visiting faculty. So trust me, this is a very handy system that being developed just because of you, so that you can get benefit and you can learn effectively. The other way of written communication are reports. Detailed documents about a particular issue or problem. These are often produced by experts working in the business. So say if I need to launch a product, I would be asked to do the first deliver the report that include the business plan, marketing plan, each thing. Notice pinned on the words, tomorrow will be holiday, please don't smoke, just like that. So there's this example of written faxes. There used to be faxes, not anymore. There used to be a machine where you say, you know, go through that letter. Practically, you just, just like you, when you put your ATM card into the ATM, and just take it. So similarly, that letter is go or pass by gradually with that fax machine, and the other side where you deliver the message receive in the same way. So it used to be like that. Text messages are very common, very effective, whether it's text messages, WhatsApp messages, or messages on the ILM. So this is how we say that. So I would say, if we are going to ask what is the most important thing nowadays, so everybody would say that effective communication. Email and social networking sites and tweeting and other forms of electronic communication using IT, these have revolutionized communication in recent years. Very true. Written messages can be sent between two or more people with computing facilities. Prints of messages can be obtained if a hard copy is required. Intranets provide easy message to all workers in a business with access to computer. The internet allows easy and effective communication with customers and suppliers. So here you need to understand what is the difference between intranet and internet. Look, if we go and we do surf internet wherever we wanna go, whether YouTube or anywhere, we need to see different side websites, and also this is internet. But if bank will be one branch communicate to the other branch, so it is going to be intranet. Okay, so this is how it happens. So intranet means when one branch or one department is going to communicate to the other department, that is again going to be the way of say intranet. Say if I have a bank account in Bank Alphala, so HPL cannot have access on that intranet. Just like we have advantages and disadvantages of verbal communication, we do have advantages and disadvantages of written communication. There is a hard evidence of the message which can be referred to in the future. Uh, it is essential for certain message involving complicated detail which might be understood. A written message can be copied and sent to many people, so that could be one of the other advantages. Electronic communication is quick and cheap way to reach a large number of people, and this is one of the reasons. Still, email is using as a quick and cheap way. You don't have to pay. Actually, it's free. You know. Disadvantage of written communication: direct feedback is not always like in the verbal, because the other person, it may take some time, or maybe that is overlooked. Since you receive a lot of emails, so there are chances that it go to the promotion or spam, and you may overlook it. It is not easy to check the message has been received and acted upon. Although this can be done with the email as please acknowledge function can be set up. The language use can be difficult for some receiver to understand. There is opportunity for body language to be used to reinforce the message, but in written communication, we cannot use the body language. Now, what are the different methods of visual? Films, posters, charts, and diagrams, just like I told you earlier, photographs and cartoons, and also through the laptop presentation, multimedia presentation, just like we are doing it right now. Or we can use, say, other resources. So all those resources which are going to help in our communication. So that is going to be healthy. Advantages of visual communication. What could be the advantages of visual communication? So these methods can present information in an appealing and attractive way. The other could be they can be used to make a written message clear by adding a chart or diagram to make it more understandable. I could give you example when you are watching any match, and also very they do show that okay, how much the opponent has scored so far. If a Pakistan India match going on score, so there is a line that you can see that their line and our line were representing different colors, or what is the average or going on, and so on. So that with the different bar chart and all. So these are the examples of the visual communication. Disadvantage: there is no feedback. Charts and graphs are difficult. Yeah, they are difficult sometimes, difficult to understand and all. Now, Formal and informal communication, I always give example of the school. In the class is formal communication, but when it's a break time, so that is informal communication, also called grapevine. And even in the professional life, when at office or factories and all, grapevine or informal communication is very encouraged, because actually they are the workers who are having all these ideas. So when they do give these ideas, look, I can give you example. Say if there is a problem in a particular restaurant of delivering late meals to the customer, so either customer could complain or the workers could say that, okay, okay, now please fix this problem. The other way around, if there are now some new ideas coming in, because ideas do come in upstream or they do come in downstream. Most of the time, workers are the one they give ideas so that we can make it more effective. For example, in the pandemic, there are less time that we could open the business, so ideas could be given by the worker that we can open earlier, and this one of the reason we have seen Chase open during each time 6 o'clock in the morning, So we could look into now formal communication. If we are going to look at the definition, formal communication is when messages are sent through established channels using professional language, and informal communication is when information is sent and received casually with the use of everyday language. Okay. Then we do have direction of the communication as well. If we are going to look at the direction, we do have horizontal communication, we have vertical communication. Okay, horizontal, when one department is going to speak to the other department. Okay, and this is how it's going on for that. Okay, and there are other ways around as well. And let's continue this chapter in the next class as well. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next class. Allah Hafiz.